What's up, WSN contractors? We're excited you're on our team and we're pumped to show you the features of the WSN app. Let's dive in. In this video, we're gonna cover 5 sections. Those sections are simply the buttons at the bottom of your screen. Section number 1, we're gonna talk about how you interact with the signed documents portion of this app. 2, job placement. 3, setting and controlling your availability. 4, your profile, all the positions you play, where you live, all that kind of stuff. And finally, the big one, projects. What information you see, how to say yes or no, and know where you're headed. Let's go. When you sign in, you're automatically brought to the projects page, but we're gonna come back to this last because it's the most important. When you click on the signed documents icon, it takes you to a page with 2 sections, an upper section, which speaks to all the documents you fill out when you join our team. That's your W-9. In this app, you can update it. It also speaks to your contract. You'll be able to download that. And lastly, you'll be able to manage your direct deposit information. You can either update it if you get a new account, or you can download it to see what you've given us. The second section on this page are a couple really cool resources that we want you to have. The lower section is all about team resources. These are things we want you guys to have. Going from left to right, you'll notice the very first thing is our team onboarding video. If you haven't watched that yet, watch it because there's so many important things on how we function, all the way down to when you get paid or how you get paid. And sometimes it's really great to have reminders. The second part of this is the job placement launch button. WSN helps tons of churches with both full-time and part-time job placement. If you're ever looking or you think you want to make the switch from contracting into occupational ministry, just hit that button and we'll reach out to you. The third thing is the best practices checklist. Download that. That's something we want you guys to use every time you go to a church. It's our way of how we want that church to be served. It's always great to have. It's always great to download. Lastly, below that are our social media icons. We'd love for you to follow us. We'd love to tag you in events, and we'd love to see what you're doing. Give you shout outs. Let's move on to the next section, job placement. At the top of this section, you'll see a button that says launch job placement. This section of the app is not functioning yet. We're still building it, but we do have a team dedicated to help. So if you're interested, hit that button, let us know. Moving on, if you click the middle section, it's your availability icon. Go ahead and click that. Up at the top left, you'll see 2 things, the year and the month. Some of you are asking, why would you give me multiple years of availability? It's really simple. Sometimes we're in December and we're going to January, and we know most of you guys don't know 2 years of your availability, but we at least want to give you the chance to set 1 or 2 months ahead if you like doing that. Next, let me point your attention to the 2 days that we let you set your availability. It's Saturday and Sunday. Some of you guys are asking, hey, why can't you let me set my midweek availability? And right now, our app is still being grown and built and organized. We want to give you guys the 2 days that we get the most requests for. So what we'll ask you is go through this month, go through next month, go through all the months that you want, and simply click one of 3 things. You can click A for available. 2, you can click NA for not available. And 3, you can click -- if you don't know if you're available or not. Here's why it's so important to us. If you tell us you're available, we will reach out to you. If you're not available, we won't reach out to you. And if you don't know if you're available, you might get blown up with tons of requests. So if you tell us, if you communicate to us your availability, we will do our absolute best to honor it. Go ahead and set your availability now. Now let's click one more over to the left. This is your profile. There's 3 tabs at the top: surveys, booking preferences, and logistical information. Let's start on surveys. The survey section speaks to all the surveys you've filled out. You're probably asking, hey, why are you giving me surveys that I filled out about other churches? Sometimes you're going to want to pull those up. Sometimes you're going to want to see notes. Sometimes we may want to talk to you about it. But very soon, we're going to give you a new section that is an average rating of all the feedback we've gotten on you from churches. This is called your Packer rating. It's position, attitude, communication, and reliability. Real soon, we're going to give you access to how you're rated. Moving on, let's click one tab to the left, your preferences. Have you ever been sent to a church and you're like, that is where I want to go. Anytime they have an opportunity, send me there. If that's happened to you, we want to know about it and we want to try to honor that. Anytime we send you to a church, you should be able to click that button. And if you absolutely only ever, that's the priority, you want to be sent there, make sure you add that to the list. You can add as many as you want, but what we would ask is that you add the churches that you really, really love, the favorites. Go ahead and set any you like now. Now, if you click one more tab over to the left at the top, you'll go to Team Logistics. This is your profile. This is your information. Right up at the top, you can see there's a circle icon. That's where we want you to put your picture. Anytime we send you to churches, we'd love to send them a picture of what you look like. And we'd love to know what you look like. Sometimes we never ever meet, and this is super helpful. Also on this page, you can set your email. Sometimes emails change. Your phone number, if you ever update it, you can add it there. If your address changes, you can edit it here. The other three things that we're really excited about here are your primary, secondary, and other positions. Now you can tell us what your favorite skill is. If you only want to be sent out as a worship leader or only as a drummer or ideally as one of those things, you can say that's my primary skill. Secondary skills are things that you're either second best at or that you'd rather be sent out as secondarily. And then the other tag section is so cool. If you play 7 instruments really, really well, we want to know about it. We don't want to limit you to 2. So you can go in that box and select any other instruments that you play. And that's going to give us a clue as to when and how we can send you out. Go ahead and make sure that that information is correct now. Finally, our projects page. This is the one we're most excited to share with you. On this page, when you get taken to it, you'll notice there's a few buttons and features, and we're going to do our best to go through that. Right up at the top, you can see that there's a year feature. You can go back to years you've played before or future to years ahead. But when you're in your current year, you're going to see the present month and you're going to see 1 month ahead. The goal here is so that you know really for the next 2 months where you're going. Now, up at the top right, there's a show and hide button. That button is going to show past months. In that past months, you'll be able to see headers with the month and a summary of what you've made for that month. If you pop open the box of that header, it's going to show you every project you've served on and summaries of those projects. Now let's talk about how to use this page. This is so exciting. Anytime you get a project inquiry, you're going to get a text just like normal. That text is now going to take you to the project. Here's the text that I got. When I click on the link, it's going to take me into the project. What you'll notice at the top of this project is first it has the date on the top left. In the middle, it has the position. Beside that, it has the project ID. And right next to that, it has what you're going to get paid. We want those to be the first 4 things that you see because ultimately, knowing when you're going to be serving, what position you're going to be serving, and how much you're going to be paid are really important. Now, if you scroll below that, it's going to give you all the logistics on service times, what the expectations are, and lots of other notes. If this is a project you want to accept, you can press the thumbs up. If you don't want to accept it, thumbs down. And if you're looking for a different opportunity, you can click that button too. One of the things down the road that you'll get is the ability to tell us what type of opportunity you're looking for. Closer, further, higher pay, different position. But right now, all that we can track is if you're looking for another opportunity. If you hit the accept button, the color is going to change from orange, which is an inquiry text, to yellow. Yay! That means you accepted it. Once you accept, there's still a little bit of waiting time. Sometimes clients are still trying to decide. Sometimes there's lots of people that accept all at the same time. Our team still has to approve who is going. And once they do that, this is going to turn green. In the meantime, once you've accepted a project, you'll be able to start seeing more of the church details. The very first thing you can see is the picture of your point of contact. Have you ever been sent to a church and like, who do I talk to? What does the person even look like? Now you can see that as long as they've added it. You'll also be able to see the position of the person that you're talking to. Are they the worship director or music director or tech director? Now it's right there. And then if you ever have questions for worship support, you can email or text us right in that little section just by clicking a button. If you click that little minus box on the left, that section will fold up. The sections below it are really important. We want you to read these things because there's notes and details about the church that we feel are really important for you to know. First is logistics. This section speaks to where you're going, the address, when you have to be there, if there's any rehearsals, and the standards. Some churches, they want you to memorize things. Some churches don't at all. Whatever the standards are for that church, you'll be able to find it right in the logistics box. The next section is called our culture section. Here, churches have filled out a little bit about their church culture. This has dress code, as well as the demographics of who's at their church, and a couple of other pieces of information as well. Take a look at that because it's important to know who you're going to be in front of. The last section is band and audio specifics or specs. In that section, you'll be able to see service flow. You'll be able to see if you need to bring your in-ears. You're going to be able to see if the church runs tracks or click or any of those things. You'll be able to see what they've rated their team's skill at, and you'll be able to see if there's any other team members from WSN that are joining you on your project. Lastly, once you've been booked on a project, it should function the same as normal. You'll still get a connection email to the client, and you'll still get check-in texts throughout the week. If you ever have an issue, please let us know before Sunday or before your service day. All right, now let's take one more look at the projects page. Once we go back to that page, you'll be able to see availability that you've set. By the way, if you want to change it, you don't have to go back to the availability tab. You can do that by clicking that column right on the page. The other great thing is you'll be able to see now all the future dates that you're booked for or future inquiries. The last thing I want to bring your attention to are the colors. There's all sorts of colors that mean different things on each project. If you're ever wondering, hey, what's the status of this project? Am I booked on it? Is it canceled? Is it a future? What's happening here? You can just simply click and hold on the project and it'll show you the status. If you're ever confused, you can just hit that text button in the project and it's going to reach out right to us. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for weathering all the features. I knew it took a little bit, but I'm so glad that you stayed till now. We know every time we send you out, you're joining with us to accomplish our mission of building better culture in the churches across the US. We're so grateful, and we've built this app to hopefully make doing that so much easier. Here's to all that's ahead, and here's to building better culture in the church. Let's get you on some projects.